Me with my GF girlfriend has princess syndrome. Throwaway because my main can be connected to my girlfriend's blog. I have been with my girlfriend for about 5 months. We've been casual friends since college, but only began dating after she graduated. We get along really well. When I say princess syndrome, I don't mean that she is spoiled or entitled, because she isn't. Her clothes seem to take over her life. She dresses like a sort of fairy tale princess on a near daily basis, excluding at work. Long, frilly skirts, lacy blouses, things like that. It works for her because she is very pretty and can pull it off. At first I found it to be very endearing, but then I became aware of how much time she spends on her outfits. She runs a blog that has a sizable amount of followers, and she is constantly posting outfit pictures, links to clothing items, and whatnot. She spends a few hours a day on her blog, at least. Then she spends time sewing items for new outfits or for her Etsy store. When we go out, we get a lot of stares at what she's wearing. I've also caught people sneaking pictures of her on their cell phones. This attention makes me uncomfortable. I have asked her to tone it down a bit, but she took that to mean not wearing anything in her hair when we're out together. I have told her several times that I love her just the way she is, but she seems to brush it off. I had hoped when she started her new job in the career of her choice that she would become more serious, but her new boss and coworkers encourage her. I worry that people won't take her seriously or miss how kind and intelligent she is. How can I talk to her about dressing more appropriately without hurting her feelings? TLDR, girlfriend dresses like a princess. How do I talk to her about it? Update post 1. I didn't plan on updating, but things changed. I realized from my last post that I needed to be more supportive, but also communicate on how she could dress down on certain occasions so we could both be comfortable. Well, I never got a chance to talk to her about it. Last week she called and wanted to stop by my apartment after work. When she got there I offered to make dinner, but she said she couldn't stay and we had to talk. I jokingly asked if she was breaking up with me, and she looked really guilty. You can see where this is going. We talked about how we were in different places in life and had different goals for the future. Well, she talked, but I agreed. It was a pretty amicable breakup, even though I felt blindsided. We agreed to stay friends. I've never been dumped before, and it's fucking awful. I'm having trouble with the whole social media thing post-breakup. I want a way to keep in touch with her, but as soon as her relationship status changed, all these alternative-looking guys have been liking her posts and commenting on her pictures. I don't think she's seeing these guys, but it still hurts. My friend wants to set me up on a date, but I don't know if it's a good idea. Update post 2. I was going through an old email and found this account again. I was surprised I could still log in, and even more by the amount of people who had reached out to me. It's a bit embarrassing to relive this breakup from almost 10 years ago. In retrospect, it wasn't meant to be, and I think I was reeling more from getting dumped than the loss of the relationship. I am 33 now and married to a wonderful woman, 31F, for 4 years. I learned my lesson about supporting my significant other's hobbies. My wife loves running and baking. We have a daughter who is turning 3 this year. I want her to be free to express herself how she likes, as long as it is safe, of course. I would do anything for them. I am still friends with my ex on social media. We don't talk, but we'll like each other's posts. She is married to another woman now who also dresses differently. It's not as frilly as she used to dress, but still unusual. Her pictures look like something out of Anne of Green Gables. She seems very happy on their farm together. TLDR, was dumb in my early 20s. Got over an old breakup and now I am married and happily supporting my wife's hobbies. Am I wrong for rejecting a woman who once rejected me? I, male, mid-20s, spent most of my childhood and early adulthood focused on education. I'm not naturally gifted, so I had to focus and work hard, as my parents encouraged me to. Things finally slowed down later during college, and I found myself being more social. There was a girl, Nat, in my social circle whom I liked, so I asked her out. She laughed when I did, but she said it was just so unexpected and that's why she laughed. Still, it kinda stung. She declined and said she wasn't dating at the moment. Spoiler alert, she was definitely dating, just not me. But whatever, she said no, I moved on. I got a good job out of my hometown, partly based on my good school performance and connections through internship. Two of the guys from work, let's call them Tony and Steve, mid to late 30s, hung out with me a lot and got me to come out of my shell more. They told me to start coming to the gym with them cause they were tired of looking at my beanpole ass. I had a lot of fun and improved my body drastically. Now, Tony and Steve were a couple, so whenever we would go out, they'd be really good wingmen and really got me out of my shell. I'm still a bit awkward, but much more comfortable in social situations now that I've got some experience. This happened over the course of like 2 years. I wound up asking my job to work remotely to be closer to my family, health/money issues back home, not going to get into it, and got approved as long as I travel back to the office quarterly for important meetings and stuff. So now I'm back home, again. I ran into Nat at the grocery store a few weeks ago. Turns out, she's raising a kid on her own now and generally doing well for herself. We ran into each other again at a mutual friend's party. This is when she asked when I was gonna ask her out again. I said the thought hadn't really crossed my mind and she seemed offended like, why not? I said I'm not interested and thought that was that. I did kinda remove myself from the conversation quickly after that. Well, apparently that wasn't okay to do. Nat came and found me again and demanded to know why I'm not interested because you were interested 2 years ago. I told her that was 2 whole years ago and she lied when she rejected me, and so I haven't thought of her in that way ever since. She said a normal person would be over that and then said it's because she's a single mom, isn't it? I mean, honestly, I've no interest in dating single mothers because I'm literally just now dating around. I don't want to have to deal with all the stuff that comes with a situation like that. But more to the point, I'm not attracted to Nat anymore. I just simply don't see her that way. Am I crazy here? Like, why are her friends blowing me up because I don't want to date her? Tony and Steve are telling me that I don't owe her anything, but some of my friends at home are telling me to at least give her a shot. I haven't really talked to my parents about it, but my younger brother is saying I should try and my older sister is telling me to trust my gut. I just don't understand why or how this got to be such a big deal. Update: after reading and replying to some of the overwhelming amount of comments here, I spoke with my sister last night about what to do. I don't like the chaos of this situation, it's a lot of anxiety and I feel the need to resolve it. To that end, after much consideration and my sister's agreement, I reached out to Nat this morning and asked her if she would meet me for coffee tonight. I made it clear that this is not a date, it's just 2 friends trying to come to terms with each other because I don't like all the messages and comments from her friends. Nat accepted pretty quickly and said she'd like to clear the air about some things. The fact that she apologized for any craziness does give me some hope that our talk later will be productive. I will update you all tomorrow if I can. I appreciate everyone's time and input. Edit, please, no red pill theories in here. I don't like how adversarial that makes things, and it's not how I view the world. My sister, my mother, my cousins, and many other people in my life are absolutely wonderful women. I don't like the disparagement, so let's please keep things civil. This is not an indictment on an entire gender, let's stop it, please. Update. Hi everyone, thank you to everyone who commented on my first post. This will be my last. Some of you got very angry very quickly and I wanted to clear a couple things up before telling you all how it went last night. I try not to attribute behavior to malice if there's a possibility it can be attributed to incompetence. I think the world would be a better place if we tried to do that a bit more and be a bit less antagonistic. I know I would appreciate the benefit of the doubt if, and when, I do something wrong, so I tried to do the same with Nat and her friends. Honestly, I'm glad I did. Nat has been in the periphery of my life for a long time. We weren't ever really close, but being from the same town, you get the general idea of who a person is over time. I was shocked at her behavior because I thought it was unlike her. Her friends reaching out to me surprised me and had me feeling anxious because I'm honestly not used to that much social attention all at once, the tone and content of the attention notwithstanding. These are not inherently bad people. I believe they are just generally good people who are behaving poorly. Anyway, what you all really want to know, I met Nat for coffee, well, tea, at a local coffee shop last night. She showed up late, after I did, and said it was because of some childcare stuff she had to take care of. It turned out that her son's father is very much in their lives, but just as a co-parent. The reason she is single is because co-parents is really all they can be together. They did not work well as a couple at all. But from Nat's own admission, her son's father is a very good dad, dedicated, caring, and supportive. I said to Nat that these last couple weeks were very stressful for me because of her friends contacting me about her, and that I'm sorry that she was offended or hurt by my saying no, but I'm not sorry for saying no. Nat stopped me and apologized herself. She said she didn't intend for any of that to happen, she just has some very loyal and passionate friends. She also said sorry for how she behaved at the party and gave me some very helpful context. Nat had just recently started dating again and has not been having much luck. She expected as much, but she didn't expect people to be so uncaring about it. The last guy she met was quite cruel about her being used goods and harshly rejected her specifically for being a single mom. So that was fresh in her mind. Nat said she saw me and was attracted to me not just physically, but that I was less socially awkward and could hold somewhat of a decent conversation now, so she was attracted to my growth. She said she remembered that I was smart and caring, but I was very socially awkward when I had first asked her out. Nat was adamant that she did not mean to laugh. She was genuinely just surprised because she never suspected that I even thought of her that way to begin with. I do believe her on this front. It turned out that she was trying to flirt with me at the party, and when I rejected her, the negative emotions she had from the last rejection just took over and she reacted poorly. She said she complained to her friends and they took it upon themselves to try to grease the wheels. To Nat's credit, the messages have stopped since yesterday after I first reached out to her and explained why I wanted to meet. In retrospect, I think I may have overreacted too. I believe this because looking at some of the messages from her friends more objectively, it looks like they were just advocating for us to be together rather than attacking me for saying no, if that makes sense. But all the attention felt like demands to me and I may have panicked a bit. So that's basically it, everyone. I apologized, she apologized, and it's all a lot more mundane than I think some people may have expected. No, we're still not dating, and we're both okay with that. Though we did agree that, if the opportunity presents itself down the line and the timing is right, one or both of us may try, gently, approaching the idea again. I don't know if I ever expect that to happen, but it's not entirely a bad thought. Just not a thought I would entertain for at least a few years from now. I like my life the way it is for now.